Hello, welcome to White Davy Gardening and Worm Farm. If you like my channel, please press the subscribe button. So today we are going to be starting an experiment. So here I have 3 containers, and in each of these containers I'm going to put 20 red wigglers, 20 European nightcrawlers, and 20 African nightcrawlers, all of which has to be adult worms, because the purpose of this experiment is to compare all 3 and to see how much they eat, if they eat at the same rate, if they produce the same amount of cocoons, whether they're going to double in amount or more over a 3-month period. So what I'm going to be doing is keeping all 3 of them in the same location and feeding them the same things, and then I'll be able to draw my conclusion from that. This may also in the future becomes the way that I manage my worm population. So what I have in here so far is dampened shredded egg carton. So now I'm adding some shredded newspaper, and I dampen them before I start the bin, because I find that when I put them in dry and then try to dampen it, they're not dampened properly. Some of it will appear wet, some of it will remain dry, and I don't want it to be like that, because I want to ensure that they all have the same amount of moisture in them. Because if they don't have the same amount of moisture, then my experiment will be inconclusive. Inconclusive? It means that you cannot draw an accurate or make an accurate conclusion. Yeah. Okay, so now what I need to do is to get those red wigglers and the African nightcrawlers and the European nightcrawlers. I haven't separated out the worms yet, so I'm going to be doing that pretty soon, and then I'm going to add them to the container and feed them. Okay, so let's get these 20 European nightcrawlers in here. They're very finicky, these worms, more than the other type of composting worms. They're feisty little buggers. They don't like to be disturbed.
Why?
I don't know, they just don't like to be disturbed. You see how quickly they jump out of the container as soon as I was collecting them. Okay, so there we have it. 20 European nightcrawlers are in here. Now we need to gather the 20 red wigglers.
Yay!
And the 20 African nightcrawlers. So I'm going to be labeling the bin so I can make no mistake with them. Okay, so now we have our 20 African nightcrawlers. You see the volume, take the volume of them compared to the, take your foot off the stand. Yeah, you see the volume of them compared to the European nightcrawler. It's about twice the volume of the European nightcrawlers, and these guys are not as finicky. The European nightcrawlers were just fighting to get out of the container as soon as I put them in here. But these African nightcrawlers, they're just calm, doing their thing, not worried about anything.
Just relaxing.
Exactly, just relaxing. Okay, so now we have our 20 African nightcrawlers in here. Can you pass that blue cover over there for me, please?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So now we just need our red wigglers.
The red wigglers.
So now we're going to add the 20 red wigglers. Oops, that was close. We also need to feed these guys. So I have some banana peel and potato peels that I cut up. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that worms eat up to half or their full body weight in a day. You've seen the size of the African nightcrawlers compared to the European nightcrawlers compared to the red wigglers. So chances are these African nightcrawlers are going to be eating more than these European nightcrawlers, and the European nightcrawlers more than the red wigglers. So what's going to be happening is I'm going to be feeding all 3 bins the same amount of food. So the chances are that the African nightcrawlers, to make up for the food that is not available once they're finished this before the red wigglers or the European nightcrawlers, they're going to be eating the bedding. So I'm expecting that because of their size, even though it's the same quantity of worms, they should be eating faster than all the other worms. So we're going to divide this up into 3 portions. And I have a piece of banana that I'm going to be giving each of them to. Okay, so now I'm just going to cover this because although the bin has mesh on it, I don't necessarily want to have the flies being attracted to the content of the bin. These little creatures are resilient and seem to be able to sniff the food from afar. And even if you think you don't have any in your house for some reason, once you have a worm bin, you'll end up seeing them. Or if you have any food lying around, you'll end up seeing them. I don't know where they come from. So there we go. The experiment has begun. The 7th of November. So we will be checking on these on a continuous basis. So for now, I'm going to be checking on them weekly to see how these guys are doing. So if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more updates on how these worms are doing, please take a moment to give me a thumbs up. You can leave a comment in the section below. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and turn on your notification for more updates like these. Thank you so much for watching and have yourself a wonderful day. Yeah man, a time for grow.